it's been months since I did a vlog or like any video of any sort. Life has just been catching up with me and other things. But I thought it would be fun to try to get back into booktubing and book videoing and all this good bookish stuff and vlogging. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take you guys around with me on a like week in my life sort of thing. Not that my life is that exciting, but what is exciting is the book I'm reading, which is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I have heard every single person who talks about this book is like, oh, it is one of the most beautiful things they've ever read, but also one of the most upsetting things they've ever read. And I'm taking that as a challenge. And I'm terrified of what it is going to do to me, because like right now I'm in a good place mental health wise, but I am easily affected by books. So yes, maybe a bad idea picking up A Little Life, but I have a 4-day weekend coming up because it is Thanksgiving this week. We are 2 days away from Thanksgiving because it is the 24th of November today. And yeah, the store is closed on Tuesdays. Oh, I'm sorry. The store is closed on Thanksgiving. What? I wish the store were closed on Tuesdays. That would be kind of a nice break in the middle of the week. But no, the store is closed on Thanksgiving, and I lucked out and got Friday off. So that's awesome. And then I just tend to be off on Saturdays, and I lucked out and got Sunday off as well. So I think this is the perfect time to dive into this massive, chunky, upsetting torture porn book. I'm recording this on my phone, which I have never done before for a video. I normally use a actual camera, but because I wanted it to be vloggy and I wanted to be able to take it with me when I, went in the car, or if I have to go do something. I mean, I don't know what I would do. We're in the middle of COVID and I'm a boring person even when it's not COVID. But just in case I wanted to carry it around, I thought it would be easier to do with my phone and this little tripod I have, which this tripod is pretty crappy. Let's be real. So yes, I really hope this is getting the angle correctly, but I honestly have no idea. And in general, that's gonna be me with this camera. I won't know if it's actually recording what I want it to for half the time, so this vlog might be a total mess. And yeah, this actually, so I probably won't be posting this until like December, just because I really want to get my winter TBR up before I put this up, and I'm planning to put that up the first week of December. So yes, even though I'm recording this in late November, it's going to be coming to you late. And I am going to be making this there will be no spoilers in this video, is what I'm trying to say. So no spoilers for this book. I am going to talk about it. If I have to like mention a scene, I'll just say the page or the chapter. But I am going to be brutally honest, like my thoughts on it, whether I think it's good, bad, lovely, tormented, like all those good things. This is the UK edition. I just thought it was nicer than the American edition, so I picked this up. Also, like, look at that spine. It's very pretty. And it matches the cover for the author's other book, The People in the Trees. And I figure at some point I'll probably want to give that a try. I have no idea what this book is about. Like, plot-wise, I know it's about, like, 4 friends who, like, exist and grow, and we watch them through their lives. And one of them, I think Jude is his name. There's not really a descriptor. Yes, Jude is, like, the most tormented and upsetting one to read about. I thought about looking up trigger warnings, because I have been triggered by books in the past, but I decided not to, because every review I've seen has just been like, they've been like, everything bad that can happen happens, so I'm just going to assume every trigger is in this book. I figure that's easier than me going through and looking up trigger warnings and risk like a major spoiler, because I don't really want that. So no, I'm armored as best I can without having any spoilers. I did watch a couple reading vlogs of the book and read, like I said, several reviews, and actually talked to some people who had read it, and they were like, look, it's wonderful, but like, be careful. And a couple people were like, don't read it, it's not worth the pain. But I was like, I'm gonna do it anyways. Yeah. But besides reading and stuff, it is November, so Nano is almost over, and I really wanted to win this year, but I definitely won't because I'm at like 18,000 words and it's the 24th. But maybe I can get 25,000, which is my just general goal every month for writing. And I really think I can get that. I slept in today, so I don't really have time before work. I do have a shift that starts at 2. And it's like 6.5 hours, so I'll be back around like 9:15, and that is kind of late, but I'm going to try to write for an hour after I get home and shower and everything, and maybe I'll make myself some cocoa when I do that. So I'll take you guys for like, if I'm going to be writing for any long stretches of time, I'll probably try to vlog that somehow, or like talk about it at least a little bit, because I think that's always interesting to watch, so hopefully you guys find me interesting to watch. I also, like I said, want to take you around for like daily regular things, like the drive to work, maybe if I have something interesting to say, or the drive home from work if I have an interesting story. Like, I mean, we get customers all the time who are angry about the Obama book, so you know, there's always fun stories from the bookstore. And so because I have a 4-day weekend, I will finally have the opportunity to sit down and try to learn how to play Otherfields, which arrived last week, and I haven't had time. I had like 45 minutes that I took advantage of, and I started learning the rules, but I haven't had like any time to really like sit down for a long length and just try to play. So that is going to be something I hopefully do over this break, and maybe even tomorrow, like, because I don't know. I'm really excited for Otherfield. I've been excited for the game. I'm super stoked to sit down and play, and it just got gorgeous miniatures. And when I pull the game out, I'll show you tons of them, and I'll vlog that when I'm trying to learn to play. You get to see me struggle as I try to learn to play this game on my own. I'm playing it solo, which is gonna be fun. This was a rambly introduction, so I'm sorry about that. But this whole video is probably going to be rambly. This is me like getting back into the water of vlogging and video making, so bear with me, and let's be miserable together as I read this book. Okay, it's 1 o'clock, so I have to get ready and leave for work, basically. I'm 30 pages in, and I'm already feeling so many things. Nothing like crazy, but there's just like a sense of familiarness to the characters. Like I said, I'm not that far. I don't know that much about any of them, but I kind of recognize pieces of myself in all of them so far, minus Jude, who I know almost nothing about. So I don't know, that's kind of nice. But yes, I need to get ready for work now and just like pack my stuff. But I wanted to say that because I'm already really enjoying it, and I didn't think I would have such strong feelings for it off the bat, but I am. I'm really enjoying it. The writing is beautiful. The characters, like I just said, are like kind of relatable in some ways, but they're also just like more than relatable. It's that they're very easy to slide into their minds and feel comfortable there, even if you're not agreeing necessarily with what they're thinking. So there's quite a bit of talent in the writing, and I don't want to go to work. I just want to just lay in bed and read, and I know I'm going to come home, and that's what I'm going to want to do. But I need to write tonight. I need to get like an hour of writing done. So let's see what wins out. All right, I know it's kind of dark. I did just get off of work. I'm about to head home. It is rainy out and dark out, which is like the worst driving conditions for me. But yeah, so it's probably going to be a long ride home. But I did get off a few minutes early, so that's exciting. I got a little bit of reading done at work because I do have breaks, so that was really good. And I just already know I'm not going to get any writing done tonight because it's late, it's like 8:30, and by the time I get home it'll be closer to 9:30, and I'm probably just going to want to have some food and read for the rest of the night. So that is fully what I'm going to be doing. I am already pretty invested in these characters. I quite like them, and yeah, I want to get right back to it. So yeah, tonight's gonna be a lot of reading, I think. Or I say that when I get home I'll probably be exhausted and won't do any reading though. Okay, totally lost track of time and I'm running a tad late for work, but I am in part 2 of Little Life, and oh my god, we are getting like snippets of Jude's life and past and everything, and he is just, I want to protect him, and I'm already getting really sad over some of the stuff, and just right now nothing has been like explicitly on page, on screen, so that's nice. And I'm kind of thinking, I've heard that things are, so that'll be rough. The book definitely has all the emotions, and I'm kind of living for that. That's one of the reasons I really wanted to read this book, is I really wanted a book to put me through the ringer, I guess. Like, I really wanted to, sorry, I know it's like, it's a little better. I really wanted a book to make me just like emote and feel just like everything. There it is. And I think, I'm fairly certain this book is going to 100% do that, because I mean, so far I'm just like feeling everything. So yes, gonna go work. It's a like 6-hour shift today, so not too long, and again, I'm probably gonna come home and not do much writing, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll feel motivated to. Let's see how that goes tonight. But I'll definitely be doing more reading tonight, and tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so I'll have tons of time to read, and I'm planning on waking up fairly early. I would like to finish the book on Sunday because that's my last day off, and I don't want to be reading an emotional book at work. Okay, I don't know if you can see me. Oh, I'm wearing my mask. Now my finger is covering up the camera. I'm just getting off of work and I'm about to go home, and it is super foggy outside. I don't know if you can tell, just like how foggy it is. So yeah, that's, I'm sorry. Like I said, getting used to filming on my phone. It's gonna be kind of hazardous driving home. I'm not super looking forward to that, I'll be honest. But I got a 4-day weekend now, and I am super looking forward to that. I'm probably gonna go home, and maybe I'll eat, and maybe I'll shower, but I'm definitely going to read, because I read like let's say like 30 more pages on my breaks, and it's so good, and Jude is precious, and I just want to protect him, and I know that's probably how the book is going to end up hurting, is probably you can't protect Jude. So yeah. Alright, happy Thanksgiving, y'all. It's Thursday, the beginning of my 4-day weekend is now. It is like almost 11 o'clock because I didn't sleep in, but I just kind of lazed in and didn't do much, and just read some fan fiction. I was on Instagram for a while, and I did do some more reading of A Little Life. So I'm like there. My goal is to get to like page 300 today. I'm on page 176, and I mean, Jude continues to be precious, and I continue to be very afraid of where this book is going to go. But nothing else has really changed. I just wanted to tune in and say happy Thanksgiving. I do, besides reading, I do have a couple things I want to get done today. Mostly just like little things, but most of it's gonna be reading, and then obviously like a little bit of a celebration. We're having like dinner with just my family, and then my grandpa is coming over, and yeah, so it's gonna be really low-key chill Thanksgiving, which is weird. Normally it's a big holiday for family. So, yeah. Okay, Thanksgiving, like, dinner and everything went well, and then my family and I played Obscurio a couple rounds, which was loads of fun. I have done a little reading. I'm on page, like, 259, so that's chapter 3 of, I think, part 3? Yeah, part 3, Vanities. So I'm gonna shower, and then I'm going to probably just read for the rest of the night, because I'm kind of obsessed with the book. I need to know what happens, even as I'm, like, terrified. Alright, so it's Friday. I just finished reading chapter 1 of part 4, Axiom of Equality. And that hurt a lot to read. And I know, it's only about halfway, so I'm really, I know I keep saying I'm afraid of what's gonna happen, because I am a little bit, but also I desperately want happy things to happen, and I don't know. My goal for today is to get into part 5, The Happy Years, and I think finish the first chapter of that. I'm doing it by, like, page count, and I, like, if I want to finish it by the end of Sunday, that's where I want to get today. What is Black Friday? I am probably going to do some online shopping and try to get people Christmas gifts and just get that out of the way, because it's easier to just do it all, to do a lot of it. There's still some people I don't know what I'm getting them, but for now we're okay. Also, D&D is today. Normally we do it on Saturdays, but we moved it to today because me and one of my friends who also does the game, we have something else going on Saturday. So it'll be nice to have D&D to break up. But for now, I need to take a breather from the book, so I'm gonna go have some breakfast, because it is still pretty early. It's not even 9 o'clock yet. And then I'm going to, or while I'm eating breakfast, I'm gonna watch some of Call Me Kevin's Among Us videos, because those always cheer me up. And then I will probably shower and get ready for the day, and then I'll probably sit down and read some more of this book, because it hurts a lot, but it is really, really good. Okay, I just finished chapter 2 of part 4, and it was exhausting in a very different way. I think it's exhausting in, like, a wearying way, whereas chapter 1 was, like, exhausting emotionally. I don't know. I'm still really enjoying the book, but I'm definitely gonna be taking another break, probably an even longer one. I might, like, set a timer for, like, an hour and just be like, okay, don't look at the book until you've had time to, like, process. And I desperately need, like, one of my friends to read this book, but I also feel like I cannot in good faith be like, oh, you should read A Little Life, because it's a lot, and I don't know if I can put a friend through that, but at the same time, I need to, like, talk to somebody about this book. Like, have, like, a really long discussion about it. So eyebrows are doing something, and I'm sorry. I am gonna break. I am probably going to do some laundry, which is super exciting, and it's only 10 o'clock, so it's not like lunchtime yet. But maybe I won't let myself read again until after lunch. I don't know. I don't want to, like, I feel like I can, like, and not just this book, but, like, books in general that I'm really invested in. I feel like I can overdose on them, and then I feel, like, sickly, I guess, like, not book hangover, but, like, just, like, muggy, I guess. It's happened before. It happened, I'm trying to think the last time it happened. It was a while ago, because I'm, like, more careful about it now. But I'm worried about that happening with A Little Life. And especially because it is such a heavy book, I think it would be not a good idea to, like, overdose on it. So, break time. I am steadily marching through. I didn't, the chapters are really long. I didn't think I'd be able to sit down and just read, like, the chapters through. But so far I have done that, and maybe that's why I'm exhausted a little bit as well. Okay, break. Alright, I'm, like, midway through chapter 3 of part 4, The Axiom of Equality, and I'm so torn between wanting to finish it and just, like, not wanting to continue the book. And I don't know why. I just, Okay, I'm in the middle of chapter 1 of part 5, I think. I feel like you haven't seen me move from this chair because I'm not liking this one. Yeah, part 5, The Happy Years. I took a bath because I felt like it and no one else was home. And D&D's about to start, and I came to a place to stop, and it's gonna be slightly unbearable to be away from the book to play D&D. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a heartbreaking, heavy experience. But I don't really want to walk away from the book and do, like, anything else. I still have a couple things left on my list to do today, which won't take long. I'll probably play the game, finish the chapter, do those things, and then just read for the rest of the night. It's hard to say how I feel about a book before it's over. Like, I have a hard time being like, I liked a book until I know the ending, because, the ending changes a lot for me. I think it changes a lot for every reader, but, like, an ending can make or break a book. Like, I didn't like The Ocean at the End of the Lane, but I liked the ending of The Ocean at the End of the Lane. I thought it was a really nice ending, like a natural, really well built up ending, right? So in the end, I was like, yeah, I do like the book. So it's kind of hard for me to guess in the middle, but I'm gonna guess that I am absolutely in love with this book, and I feel like I will treasure it as much as I will probably find it impossible to return to anytime soon. So also the other thing is, normally I know exactly what I'm going to read after, well, like, I'll know, like, a book or two in advance, like, what I'll be reading. I don't really set a TBR for myself, but I do have, like, a general idea of what I want to get to. And I do have a lot of titles I want to get to, but I didn't have one directly for Following a Little Life. I was considering Brideshead Revisited, since I just got that. I was considering Trafalgar, because I just got that. The Poppy War, I had all these possibilities. But I have decided I will probably be rereading The Starless Sea, because that is a comfort read, and I'm going to need something very comfortable. And it's also been about a year since I read it the first time. And I'm totally okay with reading Starless Sea every year. That is something I'm more than happy to do. So, yeah, I'll probably read it and end up buying. I know it's out in paperback in the US and the UK, so I'll probably purchase both of those editions just to add to my collection. Because I haven't yet. Maybe I'll read the UK edition of paperback, or the US edition of the paperback. I don't know, but I know I'm gonna need the comfort of that book after that. Even though I just finished rereading A Court of Thorns and Roses, I need another really familiar book, and that one just incites so much wonderment for me. And as beautiful and emotional as A Little Life is, I think I'm going to need just the pure wondrousness of Starless Sea and Zachary and Dorian and just that world. And yeah. Oh, I think I mentioned this, but one of the reasons I was interested in reading this book was because it is an Orpheus and Eurydice retelling, and it certainly is. It's a very close, intricate retelling, and I think that's beautiful in its own way as well. I will probably end up reading, I think the tale originally appears in the end of a poem by Virgil. I'm blanking on the name of it. It starts with an A, I believe. And I was planning to read that early next year, but maybe I don't have a copy right now. Maybe I will pick up a copy and read that sooner. Not sure. But yeah, this is definitely a really, really painstakingly intricate retelling, and I appreciate that immensely. You know, Orpheus and Eurydice is one of my favorites, but wow, does it hurt? And also knowing that I know, you know, the ending is gonna be bittersweet, if not just outright upsetting and sad. I really just want to read and not play D&D, which is awful because I look forward to D&D every week, but we're at like a high point where I think happiness is gonna happen after getting through such a rough point and like learning so much about Jude and his backstory, and I just want to like bask in the warmth of this sunny spot, and I don't want to like play. I want to just read. I'd rather play on a sad note than on a happy note. But okay, I've already wasted like 5 minutes. Not wasted. This is not a waste. But I've spent 5 minutes doing this little update, and I need a setup for the game. So okay, happy moment, right? Really good moment. There's just this like one line on page 471, if you're curious, and Jude says something to Willem, and it's like a line that without like all the building context leading up to it wouldn't have meant anything, but now is just like one of the most, like, my heart is doing leaps. It's so sweet. I can't say what it is because it's a spoiler. What a good writer. Okay, don't mind the fact that I took another shower. I'm kind of obsessed with them. I know it's awful. It's like my worst habit because it's not great for the environment. That's where I am. I'm in chapter 2 of part 5. Yeah, chapter 2. It's in part 5. I probably should have looked at this before Yes, chapter 2 of part 5. I have a couple hundred pages left, not that much. And at the rate I've been reading, I'm probably gonna finish this tomorrow. So I know I just like cannot emotionally take any more tonight, and I came to a natural stopping point. So we're gonna stop. And tomorrow I'm going to try to get recording of myself as I finish it. I will probably start recording at the beginning of, I think part 6 is the second to last. Yeah, I'll probably start recording at the beginning of part 6. Because then there's just 2 parts left. And that will probably be the bulk of my day tomorrow. and I'm really glad that I'm doing something with my friends tomorrow night. Not in person, we're doing it over a Hulu watch party. Every year we try to watch Over the Garden Wall around this time of year. Normally we watch it closer to Halloween. We used to do it in person at school, and last year sadly it didn't work out even over well, Zoom wasn't really a thing last year, but even over online. But this year it actually looks like it's gonna work out. Well, it is gonna work out. It doesn't look like it's gonna work out. There are plans in place. And we'll probably Zoom at the end. And I am excited to see them and talk to them, because this book definitely, I don't want to say it makes me appreciate my friends more, but it makes me realize how much I appreciate them more. So that's nice. And I'm just gonna need the connections after I finish. I think it's gonna be rough. Okay, well, tomorrow then. Okay, you definitely can't see my face, and the audio is probably coming in weird because I'm against a pillow, but I can't stop thinking about it, the book, and I that's not a bad thing. I love when a book follows me, but this is kind of what I was talking about when I was talking about overdosing on a book. There's not very much room in my head for anything else, and that just is frustrating, because I always have a lot going on up here. I'm really tired. I'm still planning to try to finish it tomorrow. It would be a lie to say it won't be a little bit of a relief to be done with it, just so I can have my mind space back, even as just amazing of a book as it is. So yeah, I just wanted to explain that, because it is clear to me right now kind of what one of the side effects of overdosing on a book is, what I call it, is kind of and that's just having not a lot of space in my mind to myself, or no space in my mind to myself. I'm having trouble thinking anything else, or even thinking I feel I'm really quick to pick up on the patterns and cadences of writing and tones and all that, and my brain patterns tend to follow whatever I'm currently reading, just the way it sounds, and it's just a little frustrating too, sometimes. Yeah, anyway, okay, good night though. It's 3 a.m, and I can't sleep. That was an attractive angle. I can't sleep. So, I don't know, I'm gonna read a chapter, I guess. Part of the reason I can't sleep is because when I woke up to go to the bathroom, all I could do was think about the book. So, I'll read the rest of the chapter, I guess, and if I suffer a lot from it, you'll know, because I'll tune in again, also looking like I've woken up and it's 3 a.m. Also, my eye feels like there's something in it, but I think it's just dry. Okay, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and I have 150 pages left, and I think I need to do another hour break from the book. I just need to, I think when I start reading again, I'll try to record everything and just see if I can catch my actual reactions. I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna set up the camera yet. Also, I say an hour break, but it might end up being a little longer than that, maybe until after breakfast. I don't know. I don't even really know what I need to get done today. Yeah, so I guess I'll shower, and you know I love my showers. I guess I'll shower, and then figure out the plan for the day. Also, I know yesterday I talked about how I would probably reread Starless Sea after this. I might do that because it is a comforting read, but it is also a long book. I guess it's not that long, but I remember feeling like it was long, in a good way. And I just don't want to read something that long right after this, so I might end up reading the new Matt Haig book, The Midnight Library. Those are, like, I really like Matt Haig books. I say that, I've only read one, The Humans, but I really like Matt Haig, and I really loved The Humans, and it was sad, but it was also really hopeful and happy, and I feel like reading Midnight Library will also be hopeful, and I kind of feel like I'm gonna need that after this book. So I might end up doing Midnight Library and then Starless Sea, which is like an interesting combination. Let's be honest. That's what I'm leaning towards. Kind of nice to have an idea of what I'm gonna read next, though, because it makes it feel, I don't know, just it's comforting to me to like know what's gonna be next. Anyway, I am still liking the book. I feel the exhaustion. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. Am I ensconced in blankets to make myself feel protected right now? Yes. But I've decided it's like 7:15 now. I took some time. I had some food. I am going to just read it until I'm done with it. I don't know how emotional I'll be next time I turn the camera on. I have quite a few more pages left in this section, but when I finish the section, I'm going to move the chair over there so that I can more easily set up a just video and record any reactions I have as I have them. But I am assuming there's enough space on my phone to do that, but I've never long-term recorded any video on my phone, so I don't know, but I would like to record just like the final 2 sections as I read them. I have about 150 pages left, a little less, I think, and here we go. Editing Sam here, doing a voiceover with some of the footage I took of me reading the final 2 sections of this book. This is me just starting Dear Comrade, and wow, if I thought the book hurt me at that point, I didn't know what was left in store. Seriously, I sobbed and sobbed and sobbed, and I caught it all on camera, but I'm not sharing it all. Sorry about that, for a couple reasons. One, my computer just doesn't have enough space currently to actually transfer it onto the program I use for editing. 2, I'm using a new program for editing and I don't know how it all works yet and haven't found a way to speed up footage, so even if I did transfer it over, it would be super boring. It would really just be watching me cry, and I don't think anyone wants to see that. 3, this video is already getting long and I don't want people to be too bored again. I'm not worried about that. And 4, let's be honest, it's interesting to see raw emotions captured too. a book and like reactions as they happen on the page rather than after the fact. But I don't really think it's necessary to keep pouring them on. I think even just here, the beginning of the footage I took, it's a pretty good idea of how I felt for those final 100-something pages. So yeah, just gonna cut it off here. Enjoy this misery, I guess. Okay, I'll be honest. Ignore the music in the background. It might take me a day or two to actually put my full thoughts together. I had to physically leave the house and go on a car ride to cope. And I'm tired because I was up at 3, and I'm tired because this book exhausted me. This vlog may go an extra day while I try to like collect my thoughts. But I think it would be a discredit to the emotions I'm feeling to give it anything less than 5 stars. It is probably the most emotionally impactful novel I have ever read, and possibly it will always be the most emotionally impactful novel that I will ever read. Okay, these aren't my final thoughts, but it's been several hours since I finished, and I have done a lot of crying. My eyes are still very puffy. I am also like sleep deprived, which is also why they're puffy. And I've been thinking about the book a lot. It's one of those things where if I start thinking about it, I kind of go down a rabbit hole, and then I get really sad. But I'm starting to process it a bit, I think, which is good. And what I really want to be able to do is kind of pull out different pieces of it and look at it, you know, in my mind. Mostly the happy moments. And right now it's still too difficult and too raw to do that. I almost want to go back and reread certain scenes, but it is far too raw to do that. That's not happening anytime soon. I'm just sort of emotionally eviscerated still. And being exhausted hasn't really helped because I've tried to focus on other things. I finally figured out how to play Etherfields. Now it's just a matter of actually playing it. But I had too much of a headache and too much going on in my head that I just couldn't focus. So that had to be put on hold. I am going to be doing the watch party with my friends in like an hour and a half. So I'm really excited to do that. I might fall asleep while watching it. Don't tell them that. Something I've tried to be conscious of is whether or not I feel like this book triggered me. I'm not easily triggered by books. Well, that's not true. I am easily triggered by books. But I've also done a really good job of, I guess, building my armor up, especially when I know a book is going to be difficult. The book that has triggered me the worst was Mrs. Dalloway, and I think it was just because I was in already a low place, and even though I knew what was going to happen, it still like triggered me, and I didn't realize it in the first day like of reading it. I didn't really realize until a day or so later, and even then I don't think I consciously realized that was what was happening. I just noticed suddenly I was in an even worse place than I had been emotionally and mentally, and upon finishing the book, I was like, no, I'm okay, right? Upon finishing A Little Life, I was like, I'm okay, this is fine. It was emotionally taxing, but I'm fine. now that it's been a few hours, I don't know. I'm not feeling worse, and I am in a much better place than I was, like, the last time I was triggered by a book, right? But I don't know, and I am a little worried that it will have ramifications. Obviously that's a concern, right? Anytime you read a difficult book. And I knew, especially going into this one, that it likely would be a concern because I'd heard every horrible thing that could happen happens in this book, right? So I was like, yes, you know, my trigger could be in this book. And I don't know if it's going to affect me immensely. I hope it doesn't. Even if it does, here's the thing. Mrs. Dalloway is one of my favorite novels. I've read it a couple times, even though it triggered me the first time. So that sort of thing does not actually affect my enjoyment of a book. It won't, like, stain the enjoyment of the book. So that's good. I have decided on the star rating, which I'll say in a minute, but I just don't know if it's going to have triggered me, and I probably won't know for a couple days, so it probably won't even be in this vlog. Maybe I'll insert a note here or put it in the description or just talk about it on Insta if it does, but I don't know, and I'm not sure, and when I immediately finished, I was pretty sure I was okay, even though I was emotionally wrecked, but I just don't know. It's because I'm not able to, like, sit and process and look at the events that happened, because just thinking about one event leads to all the others, and I just can't emotionally handle that yet, regarding this book. So I don't know. I just do not know. And that's kind of weird to not know. Even though I've just said it's not, that I have in the past when I've been triggered, it's been a sort of delayed reaction. But I guess this time I went in expecting it could be a possibility. And the fact that now I feel very unsure if I'm going to have emotional and mental health repercussions is... When I say that, though, like I said, I'm in a much better place. I know not only how better to take care of myself, but also how better to, like, armor myself in advance, and I think I did a pretty good job with that. So it definitely wouldn't be horrible. I don't want to, like, give that impression to anyone to make them think, like, to be concerned, because it will be okay, right? I've done a lot of work with managing triggers and all that good stuff. My eyes look really incredibly puffy. Also, my eyes get, like, really puffy easily, just in general. But my star rating, I use typically a 1 to 5 star scale, and I'm very generous with my 4 stars. I'm a little more precious with my 5 stars, but honestly, I'm fairly generous with my 4 stars, and I gave this one 6 stars, which it takes a lot for me to break that 1 through 5 star mold. It takes so much. I have only ever done it once more in my life, and this was years ago when I was reading Clockwork Princess, and that book, at the time, was easily the best book I had read and is still one of my absolute favorites. It is probably my favorite conclusion to a series ever. The book is phenomenal. And so A Little Life joins Clockwork Princess, of all things. What a weird little combo, as being the only 2 books I have rated 6 stars. So yeah, I guess that's a thing. Again, don't have like my full thoughts. I'm pretty stuck on that rating. Um, but I'm still trying to put into words everything I feel about the book, and how I want to explain it as a recommendation. Does that make sense? Um, so tomorrow, I do want to get that together as like the last part of the vlog, and then do maybe some sort of outro. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I am going to take the rest of the night and talk to friends and enjoy Over the Garden Wall, and I gotta make a flurry, so I'll be eating that. Tomorrow I'm also going to start trying to eat healthy again, kind of let myself relapse because of holiday. And yeah. See you guys tomorrow. I mean, it'll only be like a few seconds for you, but for me it'll be like hours. It's Sunday. It's been over 24 hours since I finished A Little Life, and well, I think it's time to tell you as definitively as I can what I think about the book. I loved it. I mean, I think that's clear. I talked about how I gave it 6 stars, right? I absolutely loved this book. I think it is very difficult to read and very upsetting. And there are some parts that it's the kind of upsetting that makes you very numb almost to the page. And then it's also got the kind of upsetting that has you sobbing. That being said, I don't think it's those parts that define this book. I think it's the really beautiful parts in between those that define it. And it's the shape of the relationships in the book that define it. You know, when I look back in probably like a year, I'll probably remember just the traumatic emotions it put me through, but I will also more clearly remember the kind parts of it. That being said, how am I doing right now? Post A Little Life. I feel like it's going to be just major book hangover. I'm glad that I'm going to be rereading Starless Sea, a book that could never disappoint me, and I'm gonna take my time reading it. Maybe it'll take me most of December. I don't really care, because I know I need to get distance between myself and A Little Life. And nothing could follow up this book, and you know, nothing could follow up. Maybe like another Dresden File, right? Because I'm obsessed with that series and I have already put so much effort into it, but nothing on my shelf fits the bill for that kind of role, and it's just not fair to put any book up against it. So rereading Starless Sea, definitely a good choice. Also a good choice because I think it'll help calm me down emotionally. Because this book is definitely gonna, it's already putting me into like a book hangover. I just cannot quite move on from it yet. I want to go back and like reread scenes, but I know that if I do that, I will just be very emotional over it again. And I'm just not ready to do that, even for little scenes. Like in general, I'm having a hard time kind of escaping the book. I mean, it's thick, right? There's so much that happens and so many things just in my daily life that I run into that make me think of the book. And I am getting better at processing those little moments. I've kind of passed the really tender moments of dealing with the ending of this book, right? I'm starting to be able to, like I said, like pull out moments like in my memory and look at them and start to process them slowly and put them together. And I think that's good because I'm going to need time to process the whole of the book it is a lot of book, right? It's a lot of story, not just traumatic story, but it's a lot of story. And I read it in a very short time, so it probably would have taken me a while to process anyways. I mean, this is going longer than like any book I've read in a while, but you know, even when I finished Piranesi a couple months ago, and it's a really tiny book, I had to like lay there and just like process because it was so good and it hadn't left, right? I didn't close the page and leave it. I still lived in that book for a while. And A Little Life is definitely having that same effect on me. So it's going to be a while before I can like move on from it. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. I am still getting emotional over it. It's not so bad. This morning I cried a little bit thinking about it. And there have been a couple moments where I just have to like pause myself and be like, it's okay. We're good. You know, it did also like it's still a book I'm like constantly thinking about. So I finished. I woke up this morning and all I could do was think about the book, and that's not a bad thing, but I just wasn't emotionally prepared to be thinking about the book. And so it was this really weird dichotomy in my head of, God, all I want to do is think about this book, but I cannot like stop thinking about it. Like, stop thinking about it, Sam, right? So that's where I am like emotionally and mentally regarding the book. Do I recommend it? It's not a book that I feel like I'll go around being like, yes, read this book, right? But if you're interested in it, I think you should read it. Obviously, look at the trigger warnings if that's something you're concerned about, or just know that literally any bad thing that could happen happens in the book. You know, anything, just assume your trigger isn't here if you don't want to look at the trigger warnings, because it probably is. And I'm not like, you know, exaggerating. There are a lot of triggers in this book, right? So tread carefully. But if you're interested in it, I would say go for it. I would say make sure you're in a place where you can like dedicate time to it. I don't think it's a book you need to read quickly, but I think it's a book that if you have the urge to read it quickly, you want to be able to give yourself the space and time to read it quickly, because it is a very all-consuming book. Like, this reading experience, I felt like I was in like some sort of fever dream and I had to finish it. I just couldn't put it down. And I was going to say it's been a while, but it hasn't been a while, because when I finished Battleground, or when I read Battleground, that's how I felt. But for like a non-series book, it's been a while since I've been like obsessed. And this book definitely has those qualities. I will also say that while I don't think I'll find myself like just like straight out recommending it and being like, yeah, everyone should read A Little Life, I can say that I don't not recommend it. I think it would be a disservice to this book to say don't read it, right? I think it would be a disservice to be like, nah, because it's just phenomenal and singular, and I don't think I ever want to read another book like this. And I don't think I ever will. I don't think that there is one that quite exists like this novel. And that's okay. But I don't want to take that opportunity away from other people. So yeah, I do and I don't. I don't not recommend it. That's it. That's what I don't not recommend it. All right, well, thank you for being here with me. It was kind of nice knowing that you were here too while I was reading and experiencing this book that is unlike any other. Yeah, thanks for being here. See you next time.